but there is no financial cap in terms of this is the amount of money that you need to start off with, right? Like if I've understood it correctly, you are not saying that you need to have, let's say, 50,000 rupees in a bank today to start off with this journey, right? You
Absolutely.
can have like 5,000 or like even 5,000 rupees to start off, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. And it's just that your journey might take a bit longer because obviously your corpus is small right now, but through the techniques that you will learn that and the skill set that you will learn, you will be able to create a big corpus in time, which will eventually start giving you returns every month.
Certainly.
Great. Okay. And okay, yeah. So you were talking about one interesting thing that I have that was there in your last answer was about the savings part. You know how much you are saving and you know how much you're investing on the basis of that. Uh, do you also find a problem in today's, especially among the millennials, retired people, they already have a lot of money. So let's keep them out of this. So yeah, but talking about the millennials, because they're very much, worried about their money today, because some of them are not already earning a lot. And what I see among them is that, and still they are, spending a good part of it. So what do you want to say to them? I mean, is that mindset okay, not okay? Some improvement is needed over there. If you can shed some light on that.
Sure. See, I can really relate to millennials because 10 years ago I was there, and I lived a very larger than life, king size life, and traveling to Europe and driving a BMW, or all the kind of luxuries that I was enjoying at that time. Literally there was a time that I did not accept gifts under Armani. I was like, even if I have to buy a shoe I remember gifting myself Armani sunglasses on my graduation. So I was like, this is the brand I want to be associated with.
Okay.
This is me. From someone like that, and I'm sharing this on a lighter note because I'm really telling you by heart, I've been there.
Okay, yeah.
And the one thing that the transformation happened in me when I read this quote of Warren Buffett, and he said that if you keep on spending your money on things that you want, there might come a day that you'll end up selling things that you actually need. And it just hit like a slap in the face. It was crazy because, and today I live that, I wouldn't say I live the necessity lifestyle thoroughly. There is a term to it as well. If I can remember right, it's called minimalism, if I'm not.
Minimalism is there. Yeah.
So that's the thought process is all about just live with what you need, not what you want, because your wants are unlimited, but your needs are very few. So the biggest challenge with millennials today is that there's so many in the last 15-20 years, there's been so much innovation and luxury that has been available to younger people as well now, which wasn't really the case, especially in India, if you go back 20-25 years. Now, because of that, for a lot of young people who are making money, they are no more in that same zone of saving, which people 20 years ago had that kind of mindset. Now, 10 years ago, where I also was a part of the environment, and the UK culture, the British culture is all about living weekend to weekend. And I exactly was doing that. Coming to India, I could realize that thing was something that really I was not able to make a lot of money, which I could have in that golden period when I had no responsibilities, no liabilities, no loans, and a lot of good cash flow coming into my account. So now knowing this, I have actually changed myself as a person, and every time I spend, so do this one trick, and I think this is going to change you, change your expenses habits completely. Is that every time you buy something, just ask yourself, is that a need or a want? And be honest with yourself. Just this very small trick, which is also a part of what? The mindset itself. And like I told you, it's all 80% mindset. Money is all about anyone can make money. Just like water, there's a science to it. If you add H2O and O, and it'll make H2O. There's no if and but. The same way, money is the outcome. You just need to learn the science, what to do, what specific things to do, what kind of right mindset to have, and money is your outcome. You're going to have it. And I've actually recreated wealth in my life just being able to follow those things, because I've transformed from one end to another end. I've gone from North Pole to South Pole just by doing exactly this. And I'm now in a position to be able to coach people, sometimes even two times of my age as well. So in fact, the oldest student I have is 79 years old. And the youngest student I have is even 16-year-old. So it does not matter. It's just about learning the science. It has nothing to do with age. It's just about mastering a certain art, the art of learning, or mastering a certain subject, and be able to effectively make it simple for everyone to understand. That's all there is to it. Nothing else. So
And
what I personally do, Zaidi, is every time I expend my money, I just ask myself, is this a need or a want? If it's a need, I always buy, irrespective how expensive it is. If it is a want, I try to do two things. One, I defer it, or two, I cancel it. Very simple. I defer so that my mind thinks, okay, le lenge, koi baat nahi, keep on deferring it. And sometimes I completely delete it, which I say I'm not going to do it or cancel it in the first place. That no, this is not something I would want to do. I want to focus first on my needs first. Now, investing could be a need, but upgrading my car this year could be a want. I still can get to be comfortably in a nice car. But there is always that new model that you can buy, or there's always a watch that you can. It's not going to change your time. It's definitely going to change your bank balance, but not your.
Nice one, nice one. Great, yeah. Totally relate, totally agree with all of that. And one thing that I think, you know, that a lot of people, why they're spending is, again, like you were talking about this one quote by Warren Buffett. There's another quote that I really love, similar, related to this particular mindset, is that, we buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like. So again, I totally agree with that kind of a mindset that, we're just, maybe buying things in peer pressure because of our consumerism and, consumerism mindset that we have got, where advertisers are just pushing stuff in our face every day. And, somebody in our friend circle buys it, and then we think, okay, we need to have this to look cool. And even when it is not our need, forget about being a want. It's not even a need at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Great. Okay. What else? So yeah. So we have talked about the mistakes about which millennials make. We've talked about the wealth creation process also. You have told us that passive income is something. So as you were mentioning earlier, from what I have read and understood, all my through the various books I have read, especially like the most famous book in this category, which I would say is the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. I guess, which is all about generating a passive income and working for a limited number of hours every week, so that you are able to do things which you really want to do. But as I was mentioning it to you earlier, it takes a lot of time. I mean, it's not easy, first of all, especially for a person like, a lot of people like us who are doing our daily jobs, commuting, doing work, and especially in these COVID times where that 9-hour office timing has changed to a 12 or 14-hour work shift every day. So are you telling me that I don't need to, generate a complete new skill set for myself? I mean, in terms of, starting a new blog or a new YouTube channel, that is not required.
Yes.
Okay. And cool. And so, yeah, if you would like to tell more, if you'd like to tell us more about your own community, more about the skill set that you are imparting among the people. Like you're telling that there is from a 16-year-old to a 79-year-old individual who is, who is learning from you. So why don't you tell us more about that also?
So I envisioned this in 2017 that I wanted to impact more than 1 million people. Now, at that time, I was in my early 30s, still early 30s. I just turned 30 back then. So I faced a lot of challenges initially, because being in finance, people expect your hair to be gray and your wisdom to be deep. Now, people often perceive wisdom with age, which is the biggest challenge that I faced initially. And I started doing a lot of free programs online. I didn't do much online then. COVID made me do it now. But I used to do programs, physical programs. And I could start, really drilling deep into what exactly are people thinking about money. And I spend a lot of time, effort, energy and a lot of money as well on my own learning about passive income. And I finally saw and understood the psychology. And keeping that in mind, I started creating online programs. So today, I have multiple levels of programs, people who only want to learn about the mindset, people who want to learn about mindset and skill set. Then I made a community on Facebook, which has almost 1,000 people, and that's just happened in the last 2 months. And then I created a flagship program of mine called Masterclass Financial Nirvana. Now, then I finally also created an alumni. So I started creating systems which support people, not just educates them, but also supports them on that journey. Because I believe, really, really believe in that philosophy of inertia, of momentum, that people get started and get excited with doing something, but it is not long lasting because they're not around the right people. They say your environment is more stronger than your will. So your will might be strong temporarily, but the environment is always stronger because it has influence, and influence is always going inside you. So it will always catch up with you whenever you are on your weaker side of will, and will is not something which is always at a certain state. It goes up and down. So when the will is high, you're taking action. Will is low, completely go down. And when your will is low, your environment backs down on you and pushes you further down. But imagine if the environment does completely the opposite. Your will is here, your environment keeps on pushing your will, it helps you to enhance it. Whenever you're down, it drags you up and then takes you up to that point again. So that was the whole idea. I believed in a wholesome, holistic growth, not just mentally, not just skill based, not just IQ based, but also environment based. So that is something I've been able to create over the last, in fact, during the COVID time itself, I've been perfecting this thing as well. And I really believe that there is a lot of interest in passive income as well. So I see that India needs passive income more than any other time in their lives, because what 2020, 2021 is going to be like, it is going to be crazy, guys. I'm telling you, if you hear what Robert Kiyosaki or Ray Dalio, who's the biggest fund manager in the world, everyone is talking about is exactly this, that we are already in recession, is going to get worse. If you think corona's vaccine is the solution, it is just going to take care of the disease. But that's the health disease. What about the economy, financial disease the economy is in? So economy is not going to kick start itself. There is a lot of government boosting that is needed. And the more government needs to take out money from its reserve and put it into the stimulus, it comes right back and comes to the consumers itself, because people are not really spending as much because their income is not enough. So if income is not enough, how is the government going to get taxes? If the government cannot take taxes, their income also becomes limited. So how are they going to be able to get all that money to help the economy? So it's a full life circle. And I'm going to give you gold now, and that is that government, if you watch very carefully, has been selling their stake into almost every entity that it has. That includes LIC, that includes Indian Railway.
Correct. Yes.
Having a
Yes,
flagship,
that is happening.
right? So why is I don't know, not many people think about it. Why is the government doing it? Because they don't have money,
Correct.
right? So can you
Correct.
imagine the state of the state governments are in a bigger mess than the central government because they're dependent on the central government. So not only
Yeah.
are they facing the same problem as that of central government, their one sort of revenue is consumers, which they are not able to tap onto, and the other is central government, which already is going through all this.
Yeah. I mean, they
So
had to even fight for their own GST for so many weeks. Yeah.
exactly. So this is the kind of economy we're living in now, and it's going to get worse because financial problems happen on day one, and day 300th is when you actually get to the ripple effect of it. So the problem has just
Correct.
started. you have no idea how crazy it's going to get next year. So I really urge anyone who's watching this to be able to start planning for your financial future and start doing it now. Because there's one last thing that I want to tell you is that in the worst financial scenarios come the best financial opportunities. I'm going to say that one more time. In the worst financial scenarios comes the best financial opportunities. Look at what Warren Buffett did in 2007, 2008 with Goldman Sachs. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Go on YouTube, find out, look at the videos, see what he actually did. He got such amazing, crazy deals by investing in one of the most prominent banks in the world and also be able to smartly grow his wealth in times when no one else was wanting to do it. So in the biggest banking crisis in the world, he invested like billions of dollars into, I think 3 billion or something. 3 or 5 billion is what he invested into Goldman Sachs. Opportunities are in only those scenarios which are scary. So only people who have the right mindset and are financially also prepared are able to take care of those scenarios and advantage from it. So the only question is, are you going to stand there, speculate, or face the troubles, or actually be able to thrive in them? So that's what people got to figure themselves out. And if not, if they need any help, then obviously I'm more than happy to assist them in learning how all of this can actually be done.
And where can they find you?
Absolutely.
So no, I'm asking like where can they find you? Like if they have to reach out to you.
Well, on my website, askthewiseguy.in, they can, I'm kind of omnipresent on social media, and they can obviously look me up on Facebook, on my business page. Well, you'll find me. I'm sure if you just type my name on Google, you'll find me.
Great.
And I would be more than happy to serve those people as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if I'm not wrong, you're also doing some of these free webinars, I guess, where people can start learning about these things in a small way and then graduate to the next level through your programs, right?
We do this on a monthly basis. Currently, every month we have a webinar by the name of Introduction Financial Nirvana, and we're teaching how people can financially overcome this recession, because we're already in it and it's going to get worse. So what simple action steps can people take? So I teach a little bit about the mindset, a lot more about the skill set, and then give them a chance of how I can actually help them further to get all that implemented. So that is what we're doing in that webinar. So again, on askthewiseguy.in, you can just land up on that site and find that free program. So like I say, I'm always more than willing and happy to assist people. And I believe that a day will come that I will receive an award by president or the prime minister of India. But I thoroughly believe in it. And I'm working towards it on a DoD.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm all the best for that. I'm sure that, with the kind of goal that you have, I'm sure, that is achieved, you will surely receive one. Absolutely. All the best from my side for that too. Just one last question, before we wrap this up. You told me that you have lived both the lives. One, which was in London when you started earning, where you were earning the big bucks and you were spending the big bucks too. Yeah. And then you came to India and you became a bit more financially disciplined in terms of your expenditures, your savings, your investments. Anyone who is watching it right now, what is the message that you would like to give to them? Because obviously that life seems much more exciting, where you are driving a BMW, where you are, going out every weekend and, just splurging your money. And, what is the kind of message that you would like to give to them?
So this is one thing I say very, very often, and that is that, see, money is the biggest distraction on your journey towards your passion. Passion is the one thing that is the purpose of our life. I believe we've been given this life to be able to pursue something to its excellence. And that something is what our purpose is, which is linked to our passion. And money, I see, is one of the biggest distractions that people have. So people often end up, spending their money into short-term pleasures, and they have to keep on doing it. And the more they do it, the further away they go from their passion or the purpose of life. So I believe one should always find out what they're passionate about, what their purpose is, and then be able to find ways through which they're not distracted by money anymore. I believe that is the purpose of our living. Just be pursuit of excellence in what we are passionate about. That to me is the most beautiful life one can live. And you could be a yogi, or you could be a student, or you could be a retiree. It does not matter. Everyone can do it. So for
Great.
people who are affected because of money, I want to help those people to take away that distraction. So find out ways through which you can do it. Take my help, or take anyone's help who can help you in this, who has already mastered the art, and then just do it. Because when you are 90, when you look back into your life and see what you've accomplished, that's one thing that you could really wish you could undo if you haven't done it. So for the people who are young, this is the biggest message I have for you.
Great, great. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful note to end this talk today. Thank you so much, Arpit, for joining us today and sharing your deep insights, knowledge, and with all of us. It was a pleasure listening to all of that. I have learned a couple of new things today and some really interesting things to remember. I've written them down for myself. And again, thank you so much for taking out your time. And everyone who is watching right now, you can, as Arpit mentioned earlier, you can find him online. You can just search for Arpit Arora, personal financial expert. You will be able to find him on LinkedIn. He puts out a lot of content over there on Facebook. Instagram is also over there. Plus, he's having his own community, so you can join that too and learn more from his webinars that he's doing every month. And if you like this talk and you like what we're doing here at what I'm doing here at Zed Talks, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And please like, share, and subscribe to Arpit Arora's channel on all these multiple platforms. I'm sure you will learn some amazing things. As he mentioned earlier, you will learn the mindset, skill set, system, and get a help of the community, which will help you in moving towards that goal of financial freedom, where you're not working for the money, but the money is working for you. That is the goal that we're looking forward to. And thank you so much. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Thank you.